a production of the New Jersey Courts.
Today, we celebrate Law Day, a day set aside across the nation to talk about the rule of law. This is the second year we mark the day virtually. It's been a challenging time for all of us as we continue to deal with the impact of COVID-19 and try to live our lives in as normal a way as possible. And as we work through difficult issues, we look for things that bring a measure of stability. The judicial system offers that in a number of ways. It directly affects the lives of countless citizens every day who turn to the courts to address family crises, to defend against criminal charges, to resolve business disputes, adopt children, and for many other issues as well. That's why even in times of crisis, it's essential to keep the court system up and running, virtually or in person, to serve the public. For the past 13 months, we've done just that, thanks to the determined, creative, professional efforts of judges and staff throughout the state. Within weeks of the start of the pandemic, the judiciary was hard at work, attending to the needs of court users remotely, and in some cases, in person. Since last March, we've conducted more than 170,000 virtual proceedings that have involved more than 2,200,000 participants. I'm so very proud of the efforts of staff and judges who rose to the occasion and made sure that the work of justice continues and that the rule of law remains a guiding principle at this time. In our justice system and in society as a whole, the rule of law reminds us that no one is above the law, that laws are to be applied impartially and consistently to everyone, regardless of a person's background, race, or religion, regardless of whether someone is rich or poor. When Thomas Paine argued for independence in 1776, he wrote that in a free republic, the law is king. We are privileged today to live in a democratic society built on a system of laws that guarantees our liberty and protects our individual rights. The principle of the rule of law lies at the cornerstone of our society, and we in turn must continue to protect that ideal. The judiciary plays a key role in upholding the rule of law, especially as it relates to equality. For the courts, that means ensuring that all people, regardless of color, religion, gender, or sexual orientation, receive the same opportunities and treatment from the court system. In the past year, the court system has taken a number of significant steps in that regard. To address disparities based on race, the judiciary ended probationary terms for hundreds of rehabilitated adults and juveniles. We dismissed hundreds of old juvenile warrants and discretionary fines for minor matters. We imposed a requirement that all lawyers regularly complete training courses in diversity, inclusion, and the elimination of bias. We've streamlined the online expungement process and created alternative ways to resolve minor municipal court matters without having to appear in court, virtually or in person. We're also focused on improving the landlord-tenant process and shining a light on implicit bias as we select and offer guidance to jurors. More work lies ahead of us. As a nation and a community, we must continue to recognize the importance of the rule of law and take steps to give concrete meaning to that concept. In a just society, remembering that everyone is equal in the eyes of the law helps guide us in normal times as well as times of crisis. Thank you for pausing to think about that today as we celebrate Law Day.